what really changed with Suge from, at the time that you guys were working on The Chronic to when The Chronic started to really blow up, and then Doggy Style started to blow up, and then the Dog Pound blew up, and like project after project after project was going platinum, multi-platinum.
A little ego, bunch of money rushed into his pocket. Now he got this power. Then he got this album that's historic, as I spoke on before. Not to keep using that word, but it is what it is. And everybody, catered to his needs and his whims and whatnot, make him feel a certain kind of way, I guess. When we first began this venture, we was all brothers and sisters, with Jewel and Rage and the whole, we was all trying to get this together. And we went from being family to, oh, these is my artists. And low-key roundabout way trying to degrade and talk down to an individual like he's this super-duper big CEO, yada, yada, yada. We understand all that. Do that, ride that wave, homie, but understand that we're the ones that put you in that position, because without this music, you wouldn't have nothing to go in there and sell them for them to give you that money for you to be walking around like that. So respect where the food is coming from, at least. And if you can't do that, then it's probably going to be an issue, at least with me. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for another individual. I'm only speaking for myself. That was a problem with me. Now we done pulled this together as brothers and sisters, and we put it together. Now you want to try to talk crazy to individuals. Now you want to, what we spoke on in the beginning, everybody gonna get everything they supposed to get. Then, well, no, you gotta throw this to the company, and yeah, homie, I just, and that's what I mean when I say things went awry, and he started acting a different kind of sort of way. I mean, it's human nature, it's all good, but you don't have to succumb to it.
When you listen to a lot of Death Row albums, period, it seemed like there was a gang element that was all throughout the music.
Well,
Snoop and the Dog Pound were claiming Crip, with Nate Dogg and so forth, and Suge had the whole blood affiliation, and I heard that his whole office was always red, and he wore red suits and everything else like that. How much of that of the gang ties really affected, Death Row?
Well, it affected a lot because, I don't really blame nobody, but as you live and you learn, you'll realize that gangbanging street shit doesn't always translate over in corporate America. Now, if you want to have somebody that want to invest in your company and they want to give you $10 million, but they don't even know if you're going to make it till the project is done because you out there doing dumb shit. So when in lies the divide right there. Okay, I can give you this 10 million, but if you so caught up in that life, then how do I know I'm going to get my money back? So now it's hard for companies to want to invest in something like that.
I interviewed Daz
right.
not too long ago, and he felt that Michel'le was the reason why Death Row broke up, because before Death Row, she was messing with Dre, and then they came over to Death Row kind of together.
Right.
And then at one point she started messing with Suge. And then I remember during our conversation, on camera, Daz had me pull up this clip where like Tupac was in the studio with all them, and Michel'le kind of started rubbing up on Tupac, and he was just he felt that was a big part of it.
My thing was why Dr. Dre left. Probably gotta ask Michel'le.
I asked Michel'le.
She probably the big cause of it.
You think Dre left?
I don't want to start no controversy.
Well, I interviewed Michel'le.
And I seen that shit. You know what I'm saying? She fucked Death Row up too. When she came in there trying to be the CEO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was doing all kind of dirt and all that shit.
Well, Michel'le has a baby with Dre, and she has a baby with Suge.
In the hood, you tell me what is that? Scandalous. So I don't know. Maybe she fucked Tupac or something. You know what I mean? That got a lot to probably do with it.
So you
Everybody
feel that
broke up, you know what I'm
that
saying?
Michel'le being with Dre before and Suge
Yeah, you
after.
know, I look at a lot of videos and shit that's on YouTube and shit. I gotta find this one video on YouTube where she come in the studio and put her hands all on Tupac's chest and his head and shit. And I'm looking like, damn, did he get the pussy? You know what I mean? So, Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, Tupac.
Now, did you see any of that yourself?
Actually, no. I mean, and it's not like, you know, Michel'le the homegirl. I ain't finna be flipping, flopping on no different sides. I ain't had no problem with Michel'le, you feel me? I ain't have a problem with a lot of people. That part right there, I didn't see, because at that juncture when all that was happening, I was already skating around because I wasn't allowed in the studio. You feel me? I had become, at that point, a pariah. Like, we don't want him around. So some of that stuff that was going on, I didn't see. Usually, if I had to do something on a song, which some people have a problem with me doing it today, let me know when I got to be in the studio. Okay, I'll go in, I'll drop my 16 or my intro or whatever, and I'm out. I don't just be hanging around. Unless I got to be there, I'm not going to be there. So when all the little shenanigans and yada yada was taking place, man, I was on my way down the street somewhere trying to go to a restaurant and eat or go put my feet up.
There was a lot of talk about a lot of fist fights that happened during that time and everything else like that. Do you remember any of that?
Yeah, I remember niggas getting their ass kicked on the constant.
Who?
Shit. Various people, bro. Like, I don't know the people that was getting their ass kicked. I would just be in a situation and come out and somebody getting their ass kicked. You know, whether it be at a show or a concert or, you know, just different situations. It was constant ass kickings going on. So, and most of the people that was getting their ass kicked, I didn't even know. Because if I did, I probably would have saved them.
It's no comparison, man. ODB is in a class by itself. He don't even compare to us. Like he said, his style don't have no father. He the old dirty bastard of it right there. He created his own style. So
he would probably get beat for a week straight. He couldn't even walk through Long Beach. He'd be like a walking pinata. He'd just get beat every corner he turned.